All right, so we're here with my brand new show, Whatever by Hektek. And that's the name that I came up with. So this is a show where I'm gonna ask you whatever and see what response I'm gonna get. Some gonna be good, some gonna be bad, but I want you to live your own truth because I'm gonna live mine. All right, so I have a panelist full of lovely black women, queens, empress, whatever title y'all want to call, because I can't designate y'all with anything. You have to designate yourself with something. So uh I'll start with Alura. Alura, you go ahead and talk your shit a little bit.
Hey guys, I am Alura D from the Alura Hour Network. And I ain't got much to say, but I am definitely excited to be here on Hectic Show because I'm trying to see what this is about to be about because I know it's going to be lit. Anytime I link with him is a great time. So that's all I got for y'all.
All right, go ahead, Terrace.
I agree. I am happy to be here. I'm excited. You're starting something new. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
We've been on a couple of shows together, and it's always been a good, informative time at that. I get my best life talking to Hectic. So I'm happy to be here. I am Tera Michelle, also known as Opinionated Scents, and I have my own fragrance channel on YouTube. So it's interesting. I'm glad to be here.
All right, and Amron, go ahead. You're muted, love.
I apologize. Last but not least. All right. So I'm Amron, owner of Opulence Radio. Definitely download that app, available on the App Store and Google Play Store. And if you have an Amazon Alexa, ask her to play Opulence Radio at any time for amazing music and amazing. We're not really going towards podcasting. I don't really know what to call us. Artists? I don't know.
Radio shows. You can say
Creators,
radio shows.
radio shows.
Yeah.
Um, all of the above, just a lot of amazing talent. I will say that. A lot of different aspects and perspectives, and creators willing to tell their stories. Yay.
Yeah, she's so happy.
It's a voice for this.
Right.
It
She
sounds like
always
somebody's
brings such
angel. I
positive
can't stand
energy.
Yeah, when you said that A word, I was hoping my A word didn't hear you because she likes to just talk whenever. So,
Oh,
you know, you,
sorry.
you gotta be careful when you're saying the A words because they just be like, yes, nah, I'm
Right.
not talking to you. All right, so the first question that I think I want to like go in and hold no punches. Do y'all as black queens feel protected by black kings?
Oh,
Oh, y'all thought this was gonna be easy, huh? Y'all thought it was
no,
going.
you know what? No, I was hoping for some heat, because
Me
I have
too.
a I have some pent up rage today. I really
Okay,
do.
go
I'm
ahead.
I'm gonna say personally for me, I do feel protected by black men because I've never been in a situation where something happened and a black man didn't come to my defense. And usually that shows up in the form of my brothers. I'm the only girl, I have seven brothers. Or my cousins, all my male cousins have always stepped in the gap for me when something was going down. And anyone that I dated, they were always ready to protect me. So, in my personal experience, I'm going to say yes, I feel protected by a black man. Um, each situation that I ever went through, when I came to any one of those men who I spoke of, it was never, what did you do? And, well, this is because you did this, or they never asked questions. The questions were always where, who, when, let's go. It was always
Yeah.
like that. So, yeah, I feel protected by black men.
Anyone else want to chime in?
I'll chime in. I'll say same. Even in public, to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm just a blessed damsel. Um, but even, situations where I've been on the side of the road, oh my God, what do I do? A light is on and my tire's gone. I don't know. People pulled up and just, done stuff. So I don't know. I've been blessed where I've never been in a situation where, I had to, fear for my life and someone didn't jump in or do something. Other women don't have that same outlook. So I don't want to say their story doesn't exist, but personally for mine, I've been pretty. I'm good. I'm been pretty good over here.
All right, Tara.
Let me, as always, be the black sheep here. Overall, for me, I have the same experience as these two ladies, but I also have eyes, and I also work for a college, and I've seen it. So here, In St. Louis alone, the men do not step in to protect Black women. They don't protect their own women. There's a lot of
True.
domestic violence. There's a lot of look how popular Krishan and Blueface are. You know,
Mhm.
where are all the other stars to call into this young man and say that's not it? Who's taking him under their wing and explain that that's not it? I think we can look at a lot of podcasts and a lot of panelists. There are a lot of angry Black men out here, and we are to blame for everything that's wrong in their lives. That's what I'm seeing. The
True.
narrative is shifted, and I don't feel that protection overall for Black women. I have to step outside of my personal bubble and say, what am I seeing us all experience? And right now, I think a lot of men resent us. They feel like we've had a life of luxury. We don't have to approach them. They're the ones that have to deal with rejection. They're supposed to be protectors, even when they don't feel protected by us. And a lot of them are being more vocal. So no, I don't think as a whole. Look at what happened with that woman. If it wasn't for her 14-year-old son going to the car and getting that piece and coming back, every other man and everybody else in there was going to watch that man knock her out. So
Mhm.
as I think we have a problem there, even if I don't have that problem in my personal life.
Go ahead,
Right. That's
Laura.
what.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. That's what I'm
So
saying. Sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
go ahead, Amron.
Like I'm saying, I agree. Like those narratives do exist where women are out there. You know, it should be going down. But I don't know. Is that's really? I just hate the whole idea it's our fault or it's their mama fault or they weren't hugged enough. It's choices that we all make as adults. Like you chose to raise your hand and hit that woman. So I don't know. I don't like this question, Hectic.
That's
I
why I have to ask
absolutely
it.
love this
That's why I have to
question.
ask it
Yeah.
because, and I'll say my little snippet to why I asked the questions that I asked. I have a warped sense of my mind's crazy, right? I can't always voice what I'm thinking because I'm in the presence of people that don't think like me or don't know how to properly ask the questions that they want to ask. I want to ask the questions that is on everyone's mind, but people are a little bit too scared to ask. You know what I mean? That's why as soon as I knew who my panelists of today was going to be, I already knew kind of where my questions are going to guide as far as that goes, because I see it as well, and I hear it online as far as men are not protecting the women, men are not protecting the women, men are not protecting the women. And then on the flip side, because y'all are Black queens, I can't ask you if men are not protecting y'all. I have to say, are we as Black men not protecting you? Go ahead, Alura.
So I would love to play the devil's advocate today. And let me say this. I do agree what Tera said.
Tara.
I do feel like, I'm sorry, Tara. I'm
Tara.
sorry, sweet. My bad. So I do agree with what Tara said to an extent, but I also feel like Black men don't have a space to protect Black women. And the reason why I say that is because the moment a Black man steps up and try to protect us, he's going to face the harshest penalty possible. And usually the law gets involved. And for a Black men be trying to figure out if it's worth it to step in to protect Black women sometimes. Like you said in that restaurant, I believe there was a lot of Black men in there that felt like this wasn't even cool. But what are they going to do? And some of these Black men fear for their lives. They feel if they get involved, if it goes left, the police is going to be involved. Are they going to be believed? And especially when it involves someone that are of the opposite race as us. And they think about going to jail. It's just like that slave mentality. Whenever a Black man on a plantation would stand up for his woman, what happened? He was sexually assaulted by the master. He was beat. She was raped. There's so much trauma that comes along with Black men stepping in the gap. Now, I'm not trying to excuse it, but I do kind of get some of the reasoning why some Black men don't step in.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. But the question was, is it possible, do we not feel like they don't protect us? No matter what the reasoning is, they're still not doing it in large quantities. And I fully believe in all of what you just said, Alora, because I remember DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club. I remember when he was talking about a baby being locked in a car, like in Arizona in the blazing heat. And he stood there with a thing where he could just break the car window and thought to himself, if the cops roll up here at the moment I break this window, are they going to unleash on me? And as a grown Black man who knew this child was suffering, he froze in fear. He literally couldn't do it. So I understand. That there are a multitude of reasons why. Some don't care either, though. We have to play devil's advocate the other way and just say some of them do not care. That ain't my woman. That ain't my mama. It ain't my sister. I ain't getting into it. For whatever reason they're choosing to, right now, we're feeling unprotected in these spaces, and we're saying it a lot. There are some women, that's not our narrative, but there are a lot of them where it is.
Yeah,
True.
but it's just like the air conditioner being broken in a car. You're not going to feel the air if it's not working. That's what I'm saying. I get the question of, do we feel it? We can't feel it if the AC or our black men are kind of, in a sense, broken to a point where they can't really protect us. They don't have a space to protect us, or they're afraid of backlash.
You can still feel it. You can absolutely still feel it, because like there are going to be a lot of women who don't dig into that. They're just going to see black men standing there not doing anything when they're being assaulted. They're not going to
Mhm.
stand there and get punched in the face and go, oh, well, he's probably just standing there watching this because he's scared he's going to go to jail if the cops pull up. Or no, we're going to feel that. Because I don't feel this way. We've often said we don't feel this way.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way, but they do. And there are too many instances on the news, on the radio, and on podcasts, on social media for us to say that the women aren't feeling this way. They are, and they don't care why the men aren't doing it when they're being assaulted. So I think there's room for a grand discussion regarding this, because as a people, we've always been divided. But yeah, they feel it as a whole.
Yeah,
Right, but
even
I'm sorry, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Hector. But I
Go
also
ahead,
think it's
Amron.
men checking men as well. Because think about all the women who are raped, who are assaulted, who are being beat. But your homie, that's your homie. He would never do that. Somebody got to be doing it. But I also, men got to check men, and we got to accept certain things as well. And like we say, the men around us have us, but certain women kind of don't allow those standards as well. If everybody around you shitty and you continuing to be around nothing but shitty people, after a while, that's a choice.
Amen.
Damn, that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in hindsight, when I say protect, doesn't always mean physical either. Could mean
Mhm.
protecting your spirit, could mean protecting your peace, could mean protecting, it could be a multitude of different things. But I'm glad to hear how a lot of you feel on the subject personally and overall, because normally when questions like this is asked, if y'all say, well, personally, I don't feel this way, the conversation is done. However, y'all are able to step outside yourself and say, okay, this might have not personally happened to me. However, I do notice that it is happening.
Mhm.
So,
And when you bring
so
up
what?
that caveat of peace, baby, that's a whole nother discussion. Because I will just go out here on a limb and I will say a lot of women are not protecting men's peace. So if you want them to protect your peace, baby, you better learn how to protect theirs. I'm gonna leave it
Oh, 100.
I mean,
Oh,
girl,
we're
that is
definitely gonna get
Pandora's
into
box.
it.
That's Pandora's box.
We're
there.
definitely going to get into it, because what me and a couple of friends have been talking about lately is how a lot of women feel that hurt has only happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
That hurt doesn't happen to us men. And what they fail to realize is us men, for the most part, are going to take it on the chin, do what we need to do, and keep moving. We're not necessarily going to voice our opinions. We're not necessarily going to voice our hurts. Versus on the other side, a lot of women are. How do y'all think that is? Do y'all see that? Do y'all not see that?
Absolutely. I see it. I'll tell
Hector,
you
you
this.
just,
I
yeah.
am I'm about to be 43 in December. I've lived a life. Okay. So when I was growing up, never saw emotion from any of my uncles, my great uncles, my great granddads, my grandfathers. None of the old head men ever showed emotion. They got up, they went to work, they came home to a hot meal. Like there were just this is not the same world that I grew up in terms of relationships. And I think what has happened here is there's something that's cracked, because this younger generation of dudes, I think instead of going into just being a little bit more emotional and learning to how to show emotion and that it's okay for them to experience it, they just broken all the way and all they are is emotion. A lot of them are super emo, and that's because nobody ever had emotions when they were growing up, or no one ever taught them it was okay for them to have them. And when you repress it for that long, you're going to shatter. Eventually, you're going to shatter. Everything makes them mad. Everything makes them cry. And they are trying to find out who they are. And instead of being treated as human beings who are going through something, they get called soft, or they get told about, what their dad didn't act that way. It doesn't matter. We have to focus on how these men are now. And the younger generation is hurting and they don't know how to fix it. So I definitely see it. I also think that's how you get a young man that's in the store trying to knock a woman out he doesn't even know because he wants her to shut up like he owns her. It's a lot that's broken. And I think it stems from men never being told that it is okay for them to have emotions, to show emotions, to feel things without it being a derogatory, connotation to it. You're not weak for having emotions, man. But we do have to be responsible about how we show them and how we act out with them.
So I definitely agree with that. So Hektek, to that question is so crazy because I felt like you was reading my post. So I recently posted something on my page. I said there's a man out there right now pouring his all into a woman who is too blind to see it and too deaf to hear him. And the responses that I got was so crazy because the men on this side, they were like, yeah, I feel this right now. And then, my page was flooded with women talking about, but what about us? There be women out there pouring into men and this and this and that. And I had to come and check a few ladies. And I said, this post right here was geared towards men so that they could have a space to come and say, hey, listen, I feel that way right now. I'm pouring all my love into a woman right now, and she's not even appreciating it. All she's doing is complaining. And he's showing her in so many ways that he loves her, he wants her, and he appreciates her, but she's not hearing him. And then she's not seeing it because she's so busy complaining. And it's just so crazy how sometimes women, we don't want to view men as humans. Like Tera said, they have emotions. Men have emotions. They have feelings. But, me growing up, I did see my great uncles show emotions. My great uncles were a huge part of me being raised. I knew what a man looked like because of my uncles. The way I seen them take care of things, the way they opened up to my male cousins. They were hard on my cousins, but they also showed them love. Like they would come in and give them, it wasn't the same way they showed us love, but it would dap them up. I see you, youngster. I see you doing your thing, encouraging them. And I do think that the men today don't really have that. But I think it's also because there is a woman in their life right now feeding negativity into them and not showing them how to be strong, or thinking that that woman can play the role of the father, of the uncle, and, just not knowing her position as far as trying to raise a male or trying to teach a male how to be a male. And, women, I hear them all the time. I'm the daddy, I'm the uncle, I'm this. No, you're not. You are the mother and the mother only. You are imitating the father, the uncle, and all of that. But yeah.
Amron?
There was a lot that was said. I agree with the ladies with what they're saying, but I think it's really the idea of what masculinity is. I just think the idea of being, like Alura was saying, a full person has gone away. As a person, we are all happy, we are all sad, we are all mad, all the above. But how we show these emotions are different. I think I'm gonna be honest with you, enough people don't go to therapy. If you didn't get all these tools as a child to properly learn how to um, show emotion in any form, you kind of get fucked up as an adult. And I think that more people just need to learn how to show everything. It's okay as a man to be happy, sad. You could cry. I'd rather you cry with me than be fucked up and frustrated and mean and mad. And a lot of time that's what that turns into, not knowing how to basically show one emotion, it turns into something else. And
It
then that can grow,
snowballs. Yeah.
yeah, and then that can grow into other shit like fucking addictions. Because now you got to learn how to cope with stuff as well. So long story short, men can be as happy, as sad, as weak, and as strong as everybody else can, and people are human.
Right.
No, I remember it often happens where I see what I would think is an alpha male, right? And
Ooh, I
I
hate.
think
Ooh,
this.
what? Why? Why do we have to do that?
Listen to me. I'm about to bring it
Okay,
back.
okay.
So a dude, and what I mean by alpha male is a dude that gets up, protects his home, goes do what he needs to do, comes back. You know what I mean? Everything's good. That's what I mean. Not necessarily I'm in charge. I'm the boss, right? So an alpha male will get with a young lady or whatever the case may be, and he will, if he's true to who he is, he's going to soften himself up for his lady, right? Because he doesn't want to be the hard shell of who he has to be once he walks through the door. But why, when he shows her his soft, vulnerable side, a lot of women take that as case in point. Tara said it, being soft. He's no longer in that role in her mind as being the alpha. He's now a softer shell of himself. So then she just thinks she can just do whatever she wants to do over him. And some men have had to tell women, like, listen, just because I'm soft with you, don't mean I'm soft overall. You know, there is a difference. I have to, if I'm interested in someone, I have to lower my guards, be somewhat vulnerable to allow this person to come in. Doesn't make me soft, just makes me vulnerable for you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
A lot of stuff women say, they don't realize what they say and speak out there. A lot of the men now are feeling some type of way about it. I see more men searching those kind of relationships to grow with someone, and a lot of women now is just like, that's I want a thug. I need someone
Yep.
who, you know what I mean? I need
Yeah.
someone who's on the corner doing this and this. And he's like, but I'm gonna take care, I'm gonna make sure you good. I'm gonna make sure you good.
That
The
harkens back to
thug, the
them
thug's
having
not.
dads. Yeah, that harkens back to them not having fathers present, people to show them how a man is supposed to treat a woman. We had a bunch of broken homes were raised by single mothers or even single fathers, and they don't see that dynamic. But also back to what I said, depending on the age range, if you were used to the men in your life never showing emotion and you thinking they're supposed to be stoic and just hardcore all the time because that's how they were, then when you get a dude who shows you emotion, you don't know how to deal with that at all. So, man, we everybody. I agree with Amron. I say therapy should be free.
Therapy. Yeah.
I think therapy should be free 100%.
Definitely
But we
should be
have
free.
so many broken women with really nasty attitudes who don't accept. They said a nice guy always finish last. I have so many female friends who like he's too nice. I got to friend zone him. And I'm thinking to myself, but yet you come crying to me once a month when the same dude you keep going after, it's a different dude, but the same type, keeps running through you and over you. When are you going to understand you are the problem? You are the common denominator in all the messed up relationships you have. And it's about who you're looking at. So we have a lot of growth to do there on both sides. Absolutely.
Not. I'm glad
All
that
right.
you said that, because I remember when I was on a dating app and a girl hit me up and we were talking whatever, and she told me all the domestic shit she's been through and all that. Which, Amron, this month is what?
Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
All right, cool.
Definitely wear your
So
purple.
I don't have nothing purple. I'm sorry, that's not my color. But so she was telling me all the stuff that she went through. So I'm telling her about myself, my aspirations, my goal. And she literally says, "You're not thug enough for me." And I
That's
was
because
like,
she's been brainwashed. I want you to think about that. We hear mothers telling their daughters, "Don't be dating somebody weak," or "He's too weak." You don't hear fathers telling daughters that. You don't. That comes from women. Women say that, and it's so sad that these women think that it's better to have someone who's going to bop you upside the head rather than you having someone who is calm, chill. They don't want to be, out there too much on the, living their life on edge. They want some sensibility. And what's wrong with sensibility?
If you don't have sense, you don't understand sensibility.
"That's
True.
facts."
Tara, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to go in here and edit your name and add doctor to the front of that real quick.
Yeah, you speaking facts. You can't. That's fact though. You can't tell someone or teach someone this if they don't know. It's a foreign object. Like, I've realized in my older years that a lot of things that a lot of women say they want, they don't even know how to accept.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
So they say they want a good man, six figures, this and this and this and the third, but yet when that person is in front of them, like Tara say, you nice. Let's go and hang out, but that's it. It's not going past that line. Versus the homosexual with the trash bag full of clothes, he's in there. He don't even have to do too much.
You just said homosexual. Bro, that's the second time I've ever heard that.
But you know what? But Hektek, I will say this.
Yeah.
I actually was one of those women that was doing that. But it's a fear thing. Me and my therapist worked through this. It's easy to deal with the homosexual because I know exactly what I'm going to get. With the man that's exactly everything I want, I'm actually have to put in work as well. If I can stay exactly where I am and stay stagnant and have no growth at all, this homosexual is perfect for me. But if I actually want to be where I say I want to be and do all this other shit, that's when I put in work. No one wants to put in work anymore. So that's why, we move past that.
And
Ladies,
I'm
I'm
so
glad
happy y'all ladies are speaking your truths, because this is exactly what I wanted to hear. Because in order for there to be change, there has to also be accountability.
Yes.
And as much as we keep talking about change, no one wants to accept the accountability of their part in to make the betterment or into make the change. And with that, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to keep it rolling. Like this anymore. These old time hits just be getting you in the vibe. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, they just transport you back to where you first heard it or how you were feeling in the moment. Like, there's nothing else like it. This new shit has nothing on these old classics, like, for real, for real. So we're back at Whatever by Hektek. I don't know, man. Even Computer Love, I remember just having the system and just whamming out to that. Like, there's just nothing else like it.
Real quick, I said I was gonna dive into this, but I haven't yet. The comedian Godfrey, the black comedian Godfrey, he said that there's something about the frequency on which we used to make music versus the frequency we do now. And that's why the old school jams resonate with us still. This new music isn't made to stick. It's a quick hit, and then you move on to the next quick hit to keep you purchasing the BS. So I need to look into that, because you're right.
No, it's definitely someone else I have heard other people talk about how it's so monotone, and so it's like one, like it's such a low down, like music is now not necessarily hype. Even like listen to the old classics, like they could be mellow, but they still had you like, swaying in the groove. The new music now just has you like, I think
old music
everyone's
invoke thought process. That's why old music invoke thought process, because when you listen to it, you listen to it intentionally. You listen to the words carefully. It spoke to your soul. It spoke to your spirit. It just, this new music, like Tera was saying, is bam, 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 on to the next. So it's crazy.
I couldn't tell you what classic would be after. I'll give it to 2010. After 2010, I can't tell you what song would be a classic, or what song, who made what, when they made it, how I felt when they made it. None of that. Unless the song came out, then I'll be like, oh shit, I totally forgot this song even came out. So it just be like that. Shit, I want to hit y'all with another hard question. I'm gonna soften it up as we go along. Who do you feel is driving? I would say first, who you think is driving the body dysmorphia craze / BBL?
Do you mean groups or the men or the women? Like,
whatever you feel.
Women, because I'm gonna be honest with you, even when it comes for like getting dressed and getting cute, I don't care about the men. If I'm getting dressed or I'm going places, if I get 4 women to be like, oh, you cute, I'm good. I don't care how many dudes looked at me that night. I know I look good that night. My bitches rode with me. But I think honestly it's with competition and one else keeping up with the Joneses. Like, I was always cute my whole life with a natural body. Now this bitch super cute with a BBL. Let me get this booty too. This bitch super cute with double D titties. Let me get double D titties too. let me, get 3 ribs taken out. So my waist is, 3 inches. Like, it gets wild.
Man.
I think you should be able to sue doctors who do that. If you would literally take somebody's ribs out to make their waist small, the Hippocratic oath means nothing to you and you should be jailed. I absolutely believe that. And I would agree with Amron because I think that, first of all, I don't care what women think about me. I don't hang out with females like that. When I get dressed for me, and I am a woman, but I'm definitely, I want my man to be like, wait a minute, where you going? I'm going with you. Like, that's what's
But see, my thing is, my man is my cheerleader. No matter what, if I roll out with these sweatpants right now and this head wrap, he gonna be like, "Damn, that look good."
exactly.
So
And that's all
I
that
don't.
matters.
I agree, Amron.
That's just for me because I'm super antisocial. I'm trying to. We both have that issue, but I'm trying to be a better person. But I think it's
Okay.
right. The competition is definitely all the Instagram models, and
Mhm.
because most men that I've talked to have told me they don't like that. They'll smash her. They will definitely hit her that night, but they wouldn't wife her. That's not what they're looking for in a woman that they're going to have in their lives. So I definitely think it's the competition that women have with each other way more than the men that are involved.
I sort of kind of agree, but I really think this movement was started by men. More so because growing up, when we seen the breast implants and the small hips, it was Caucasian based. It wasn't something that you really seen on Black women too much. And if you weren't a Caucasian woman in the time that I grew up and you didn't have big boobs, you got teased. A
Wait,
lot of people.
I wanna say this real quick. Men make sizes different because the video girls, and I'm going back to like think about old J Lo, her original body. She still
She
had
said her
booty.
original, the OG body.
Yeah, like I'm thinking Fly Girls. I'm thinking Jet Beauty of the Week. They were built like Barbies. They had boobies, butt, and a little bitty waist.
Yeah, but it didn't start with J Lo. It started with Pamela Anderson. It started way before J Lo got on the scene. J
But yeah,
Lo
that's why I
just
mentioned
made it
Jet
more
Beauty of the
popular.
Week. That's
Yeah,
dinner. Like that's
but yeah,
dinner.
because the beauty of the week, definitely we all seen that was natural beauty, like you said, and I
Yeah,
inspired to be like them. But somewhere down the line, it got watered down that wasn't the embodiment of beauty anymore, and they
it got
start plastering. Oh, go ahead. What you gonna
we
say?
wanted enhancements. So big titties used to be 36C. Then a lot of bitches had 36C. So now big titties need to be 36 double D. So now everybody got double D.
That
And
was
then
about to
it
be
got weirder and
EFs
weirder.
and yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those, once everybody had it, we all had to get it too. You're not
But
special. We all
it didn't
have
used
it.
to be like that. Not in that time when Jet was out. It wasn't like that. No one, I my circle. Let me speak from my circle and the people that I grew up around. They weren't. We didn't give a care about big. Well, maybe I didn't care because I was blessed with it.
You
But
already had it. See, we already had it
yeah,
too.
but
So you
my
you wanted
friends who
you didn't
didn't
want
have
the
it,
titties. You wanted what you didn't have. When you saw your
right?
friend walk out and her mama ain't say nothing to her about not having a bra, and you were like, damn, my mama would never say that to me. You knew there was a difference.
Yeah, but we didn't start thinking about that until we started watching Baywatch, to be honest. When we were growing up, we did not care about that. We started watching Baywatch. Man, like I said, my circle of friends. We
Okay.
started going to school. We was patting our bras with toilet paper. We was in the we was in the bathroom like this. And it was all because my brothers and my cousins would always watch Pamela Anderson run. And just like boom, boom. And then I'm thinking like,
I remember.
and then the boys at my
Slow
school talking
motion.
about it. So
Slow
then I
motion.
started thinking, this is what I'm supposed to look like. And then that's when Jet Magazine was no longer the roadmap. It was no longer the guide because we stopped watching it because Pamela Anderson was circulating in school. That's why I said for my situation, for what I seen, that's when we start seeing more Pam Andersons. Because when we went to school, it was Jet Magazine always.
But why
Um,
would you ever switch over to a white woman? Why would you
That's what
all have
that's
you care what Pamela Anderson looked like?
Because
I'm
you got
with
to
you because I was
remember
looking at Nina
when you're
and
a
Pam.
kid and you're watching TV and you don't see you represented on the TV, you're going to think that this is what you're supposed to look like. Like I
Right.
used
But
to be
Allura,
upset because my aunt would not perm my hair. I always had to have my hair pressed and my scalp be on fire and my friends had their hair pressed. I thought this what I was supposed to look like. It took for me to turn 30, y'all, for me to realize that my natural coils were beautiful And that's a shame. It took that long for me to realize that. I ain't realizing in junior high. I did not realize in high school, because the world told me that I had to have straight hair. Tyra has straight hair, so I have to have straight hair. All the black girls that I seen looked like they were white.
Oh, especially like Fresh Prince and all that. Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
only people
living
at
single.
different world, they had a lot of natural.
Yeah, different world, living single. We had some
Yeah.
dreads and
The
braids.
Cosby Show. The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Cosby Show.
But
Yeah.
I will say this, because I told this, like Alura just said, I've told that exact same story on multiple podcasts. It wasn't until I was 30 years old that I stopped or flat ironing my hair. When I was younger, being like one of the only fair-skinned girls around and having curly hair, I got bullied to the death. It was always a
Oh my
problem.
God, they would have
I was a
loved
white
you where I was at.
I was a white
Oh.
girl. I was everything but black. So then when I got 30, I think it was because I was pregnant and just didn't feel like it and fell asleep after washing my hair, and then woke up and was like, you know what? I'm gonna start wearing my hair curly, and I have not stopped since. And it was women that did that to me. It was little girls who did that to me, and in high school,
Same.
Teenagers. So this is why I think the movement is started by women, or I'm not gonna say started. Men will put those video vixens in their stuff and they will slap it and they will do all of that. But look at what they're doing in their personal lives for the most part. And even if they were entertaining it at first, it is definitely now dominated by women. Women competing with other women and trying to emulate other women. And Kim Kardashian, she does nothing but emulate us. And look, she's a billionaire.
Well,
And
Tara,
I'm
sorry.
I was gonna say, as far as men, especially in my field, we know what sells. Sex sells.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily mean that's what we want to wake up. I don't listen. If I'm going out, I don't want to have to backward plan 3 hours for my girl to get ready for us to be somewhere at a certain time.
I'm already doing that myself, though.
Right.
Like, I already mentally did that myself.
Yeah, I don't need that. I will listen. Give me a good solid 5 to 7 with a great personality and know how to go out and get this money. I'm good. I'm solid. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I do see, even for me, when I post pictures of women, I get more hate from women than I do men. I have one, this chick is, I swear she's a kink shamer and she's all of the above, but she thinks she's a dime and she's really not. She's probably a good 3. And she swears she's a solid 10 and talk about every girl that I put on my timeline as if they're disgusting. And I'm just like, if I really told you what I really think about you right now, I'll be the dickhead. You know what I mean? But I get more women that hate on the girls that I take pictures of or the girls I post in videos than any dude. Most dudes, honestly, even as models, I tell the models that I shoot, dudes don't give a flying fuck. Like, you gonna post this picture, you're gonna have more critique on yourself than the dude looking at. Dudes are gonna be like, hey, what's happening? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or I had girls like zoom in or something like, her toes are not done. Yo, you got that much time?
Women do that.
They do.
That's petty.
Women do that. Her edges ain't laid. You see that lace lifting? Ooh, she thinks she cute. Girls are.
But I'm not gonna lie. I didn't talk about a few people's lace and edges. No, it wasn't hating. Some of it was just like, bro,
you knew better. Why you post that?
You knew better now. Don't come out the house with that shit lifting.
I'm just saying,
y'all keeping that same energy for y'all sisters that be wearing these bonnets and these pajamas outside, because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I cannot take it anymore.
Like, you're not about to have a sleepover in the grocery store, sis. No.
Yeah. I don't understand. So would y'all think, let me ask you this. Do y'all think that's self-hate? Like, or do you feel like it's just competition?
It's self-hate.
Can I say this?
It can be both. It can be both.
I like to wear a turban, and it's actually very fancy. Just throw that out there.
That's different.
That's different.
It's in the same. It's in the same category. Just move over in the hair store. That's all I'm throwing out there.
Because
No,
you can dress up a
I'm talking
turban.
about
You
the
can
bonnet. I'm talking about the
bonnet.
shower cap bonnet.
exactly. The
I know what
bonnet.
you're
Yeah.
saying.
You're
I'm
not gonna
saying I like
disrespect the turban like that. No, we're not disrespecting the turban like that.
I just
Yeah,
want to throw that out there.
because a turban is part of fashion. A bonnet is not. I ain't never seen nobody on the runway talking about today's line is from the bonnet of LaQuisha
Oh,
and
Kanye
if-
West. Kanye
Give it
West. That's who's gonna drop it.
Give
Yeah,
it
you're
time.
gonna
Right.
drop it.
You're
And then
right.
everyone gonna come out with bonnets.
Right.
That's
We're
gonna
gonna
be
be
the
a
new thing.
billionaire again after that.
The new Yeezy. But wait, what was the question? Hectic, tell me back. What was the question?
Do we think it's self-hate or competition?
Yes. Yes, it is. But I think it's more competition. Women are mean. As we stated, women are mean. And Tara, I love the way you say hair. And that's all I gotta say. That's it.
That Saint Louis.
Yeah,
She said word, and I was
I knows that accent too when she said it too. I was like, oh,
I
okay,
do
cool.
not have an accent. I'm
You
tired,
do.
y'all.
I
You
love it.
do.
But
You
also,
do.
I just have so many questions because why weren't you looking at Tia and Tamara with their natural hair and they skin like, ooh, we all black and beautiful?
Well, because Tia and Tamara wasn't in school with me every day, bullying me in my face. I
But see,
wasn't
that's
getting,
what
I
I would
wasn't
hit
getting
them with.
suspended for smacking the hell out of Tia and Tamara. That's why
I
I
would
went.
hit you with, that's why you smell like just for me and this is natural. And walk off.
Wow.
And
Not
walk off.
just for me, box.
Listen,
I would have to
Smelling
agree
like
with
lie.
I would have to agree. It's definitely I think it's competition and I think it's self-hate. Because when I went to school, I got teased too, but I hate to say this and I hate to because I don't want to be that person, but it was never by the girls who I thought looked way better than me. It was never by the girls who I thought were just beautiful. They never ever were mean to me or did anything to me. It was usually the girls who were, and I hate to, they were a little bit darker than me, and I know this sounds bad.
Are you trying to say they look
mine
like
were
bro
all
sisters?
way darker than me. All of it was always about colorism because I was like the only high yellow bright girl there. I had to
And
fight
I'm not
every
even
day
light skinned.
because I was born
I'm
this way.
brown skinned. I'm
So-
brown skinned. And
This is
it was
interesting.
those girls. It was always from those girls. And I had it like, I had an inner, I had to, channel my inner thug and be like, okay, and now I gotta be bitches with shoes and stuff, And it was just like, it was unfortunate. And I learned that, it was self-hate because they had people bullying them because of their skin tone. And so then they took it out on me, and it was girls who were bullying them. And then some males, and it was just like,
Oh yeah,
I
back
think
in the
Males,
day, it was
males
all
would
about
do
red
it.
bone.
Males
It
would
was
do it,
always about red
especially
bone.
males
It
would do it, especially if like it was their girlfriend, because they felt like being on their girlfriend's side would get them more play.
right. I feel like
But in
I
the
was.
back of the mind, the dudes really didn't give a fuck. Like men don't really think on the level that y'all really think we be thinking on. We really don't care a lot about a lot of shit, honestly. So
I'm learning that.
But it would be because the dudes would be like, oh, that's a red bone over there. And if the light skinned girl is giving me attention, now let me just really quickly. I have a quick story. I have a 10-year-old daughter. When she was younger, I think Livy was probably 3 or 4 because she's still at daycare, and she would come home and her barrettes would be missing, and then she wouldn't want to go to school, the daycare the next day. And I went and talked to the woman Julie and said, "What's going on? My daughter's not acting the same. I think she's being bullied." They ran back the tape and saw the little girls. It was a group of darker skinned girls bullying her. My daughter is like porcelain in her color. If I didn't know myself, I'd have thought I cheated too, because I don't know how she came out that color. She has blonde hair and eyes that change from green to hazel to gray. She's really a fun science experiment, if I do say so myself. But I talked to Julie, and then this woman came in that morning and she said, "Olivia, my baby." And she ran to my daughter and picked her up. Now, this is the other little girl's mom. And I'm looking at this little chocolate girl who's gorgeous. And she's just standing there. Her mom reacting to my daughter that way. And so I said, "Julie, can we meet real quick? Because I think I see the problem here." And I talked to that woman and I said, "This is what your daughter has been doing to mine." And she broke. She went out in the hallway and grabbed her daughter up and said, "I love you so much. You are so beautiful." She didn't realize that she wasn't saying that to her daughter enough. Her daughter at 3 or 4 years old was internalizing that and attacking my child. But we fixed it and rectified it. And to this day, they're still cool. They transitioned to the same school and they're still friends. But I had to be diligent in watching that. So sometimes it's about them not getting the love and the attention that they need that causes that issue. But I definitely think, again, it goes all the way back to like a level of self-hate. Whether you hate yourself because you woke up that way, or you're seeing other people being treated differently than you, and it just forms more than it is competition. I think women just are hateful because sometimes they've been mistreated.
So do you think that's what's really pushing the whole BBL craze? Because I get women that tell me, "Oh, I really want to work with you, but I'm taking a break, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that." And I'm like, "Well, baby
Flat
girl,
booties aren't in. Flat
I'm like,
booties and
baby
small
girl,
titties aren't in.
you good right now? Like you banging, like people would kill for what you look like right this second." And they were like, "Nah, I gotta tighten this up, or I gotta do this." And I'm just like,
And
See,
that's so crazy.
That's
Yeah,
you. That's not what most men are telling them, though. That's one person versus maybe 50 other men that told them you need some better titties, you need a bigger booty.
I don't believe that's true, because I don't hear men out there speaking like that. Lil Baby, he came out and said he'll take a natural body over a BBL body any day because they all look the same. I think men tell us what we want, what they're intentionally trying to tell us, and we hear what we want to hear. And the thing is, I think so many women want the BBL because back in the 90s, big booties was made, big. Sir Mix-a-Lot made a whole song about booties, and it did really well. Then Nelly had apple bottom. What's it, Nelly? You had apple bottom.
Yeah.
Apple
You
bottom.
know
And
it was. You in love with you some nails.
big butts. Big butts was all the crave. And when I was walking through school, I was like, I didn't realize I had a nice body because it was this guy, he used to call me Cola, and I was stupid. And I was like, hey, Pepsi, because I'm thinking we just talking about, drinks. And I realized it was because I was built like a Coca-Cola bottle, and I had a nice posterior. So I never felt what the skinnier girls felt not having a booty. And I think that so many women who had big butts, we might act like we was better than the girls who didn't. But in all honesty, I think that whatever your body type is, you should love it. Because guess what? Big booties may be in now, but next year, little booties may be in. And let me say this real quick. The size that I am now, men loved that back in the day. This size I am now. Men don't want this size women all like that no more. They want women a little bit smaller and a little bit, more taken in the waist. So body trends change with the times.
So baby, you just explaining what I was saying though. You just said it was Sir Mix-a-Lot and Nelly and Tip Drill and all that other stuff. They had
no
these
one
women
brought up Tip Drill but you. No one brought up Tip Drill.
I ain't saying no Tip Drill.
No, I kept going on. I'm saying Tip Drill. So that music was what led these women to think, and them beautiful women on TV that at some point they probably thought was natural before we knew the BBL craze. So again, even if it's the music coming from men, but you remember that TLC? What song was it on TLC where the dude was trying to tell Chili she needed to get bigger titties? There's a video that TLC did. Yeah, so there are
perfect, something like that.
Yeah, there are men in real life. I know men like that. A lot of them are white. I will give that. But there are a lot in there, but they're with Black women. And they will tell them, you need to do something with your lips. Or you need to do something with your, especially fake boobs. So it goes both ways. But there are men who are like that, who are paying for the surgeries at that.
I don't think that they're saying that because they're promoting that. That's what they get paid to do. Like Hector said, sex sell. That's not the body that most of these men were particularly wanting.
I'm talking about real. I won't marry you. That's what I'm talking about.
No, you do have. I've heard, but in a whole, right? I think there's a lot of times that people are saying men say this, and they're putting all men into this box of saying this, and it's realistically a small percentile of men that are wanting this. You know what I mean? Because there is. Me and my homies, if you gave me, now don't get me wrong, I am definitely an ass man, but I want a more natural looking ass than an ant looking ass.
I hear you.
With the legs and that big old booty. But you know what? Hey, think about this. If Drake comes out, and I don't listen to Drake's music, so I don't know what he said. But if Drake comes out and every girl in his video has a BBL and has her whole body done, like the Bernice Burgos and stuff, then he's one male that's promoting it in his video. Might not even be what he wants in real life. But if in the song it feels like that, that one man can command millions of women's attention.
100%.
So it can be a very small percentage of you guys, but if it's big enough, if they have a big enough platform, then they become what women think all men want. That's the problem. And you still go back to women being the problem, which is what me and Amron said.
Yeah, Amron was trying to say something. Hektek.
Yeah, but still, it gets confusing where Hektek says this is a small percentage saying this is not what you guys want. There's only a little bit of guys want. But then we go on Instagram and we see these women with millions and thousands and hundred thousands of likes when they're bent over, titties in a screen, just looking balloon animal like. It's confusing because it looks like that's what you like.
Can I explain?
Yes.
So when I go on social media, I'm literally doing this.
I hear you. But
like sometimes I'm not cognizant or aware of what I'm even doing half of the time. Or from my perspective, I might have liked the angle or I might have liked the scenery or the whole composition of the shoot, not necessarily her.
Right. But at the same time that, nice, sweet young lady at home making gumbo would probably be the best person for you, who shows her sandwich that she was at the park eating. You scrolled right past her because you like the ass.
Well, I don't like gumbo. I don't like no shrimp or none of that. However, you show me a nice plate, I'm gonna be like, yo, what's happening? Where's this at? I'm just different.
And I think that men's body is just, their minds are wired differently. And it's like the woman might not naturally be sexy or anything, but if you see breasts, the natural man is gonna be like, titties. Right. She might not be his option, but titties, let me like that. Booty.
Oh, you show me a nice ass, I'll be like,
because I'm the same way. Let me speak from my perspective. Because I'll be scrolling too, and I'll see a female, and I'm like, damn, bitch, I like that button. And then I'll see a dude, and I'm like, he ugly as heck in the face, but that chest right, like that. Exactly. And he's not someone that I would be like, I'm gonna wife him, or I'm not wife, but I'm gonna wife him up. Let me say it with my thug ass. I'm gonna wife him up.
You can't say husband him up. It sounds dumb. We know what you mean.
Right.
But it's simple. It gets confusing. It's one of those things like the young lady that's not getting any likes. She wants to be like the lady that's getting the likes. So now I'm going to go get the titties. I'm going to bend it over. I'm going to do what she's doing because I want to get what she's got. That's what it turns into. So.
I get that.
That's where self-love got to come in at, though.
It does. Definitely.
Because you know what? The funny part is sometimes we don't know that we even do that. Like the first time I dated a dude that was much smaller than me, I had a problem with that. Because I became self-conscious for the first time in my life. I was like, I don't want to hurt you. Like,
oh, damn.
I feel you.
I feel you on that. You're doing me. And I was like, oh, we need to have a talk because like he didn't have a problem with anything was going on. But I mean, the first time I was like, have you seen me? Like, did you see the pictures? Like, what we doing? And we had to have a serious conversation because I immediately internalized that and was like, no, I can't do this. And so, and I think sometimes we don't even know that's in us until we get into that situation. So
the funny thing is, a lot of women don't know that men go through body dysmorphia.
True.
A lot. Even me. Before I got into the industry, I wouldn't take my shirt off and just walk around like willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Now when I'm in like content houses, just depends on what I'm doing. I might be butt booty naked, but it took me a long time to even be comfortable doing that. You see what I'm saying? Because what? Yep. Oh, did I give you an image?
No, not an image. Not an image, but just that's really bold. So content house would be in your work though. You wouldn't just like go to a podcasting content house and just be butt naked, right?
Correct. No, he would not. I'll answer.
We gotta have some tact now. Can't just show up anywhere.
Tera, I need to be at that content house, the podcast joint. No, I know when to do it and when not to do it. Right. But a lot of men do deal with it. You know, we're not buff enough. We ain't making enough money enough. We're not doing we have, but men just deal with shit differently than women do.
True.
You know what I mean? We do have like the famous Atlas, you know, him holding up the world. That is a lot of men's day to day. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, you know, more women are now getting to that role and they're seeing. I've had women be like, especially if they get into the production side of things, they be like, this is what you had to deal with this whole time? Oh my God. You know what I mean? So once women start seeing certain things, then they get it and then they realize, fuck, I see why, you know, I've had women that went to the other side, like, fuck men, I ain't doing men no more. I'm gonna go to women, and then they come back and they be like, no thank you.
Same shit, different day. I mean,
You know what
to
I
be
mean?
honest though, I went through that phase where I was comparing myself to other women, and it was only because I think I thought I had to look perfect. And once I had kids and I gained some weight, and I'm just like, damn, I hate myself. And then it was me saying I hate myself, and I had to realize like, damn, this is a mental illness. You saying you hate yourself and you're comparing yourself to someone else. I don't know that person's story. I don't know how that person got this body. I don't know if that person paid for that body. And what is wrong with me for me to sit here and think I need to look like somebody else? So once I tackled that with myself, I was able to walk into a room where someone else would name a woman of 10, and I'm gonna still walk in there with the most confidence and be like, well, bitch, we 20. Okay. So, you know, I had to get to that point in my life. But some women, you know, they haven't reached that aha moment that they are their own enemy right now as far as confidence and comparing themselves with other women.
But you know what's so crazy? I made a post on Facebook. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, it's just a common meme. It's like, damn, I miss the days when everyone thought they were ugly, because everyone thinks they bad nowadays. Which is crazy that we're going through all these what would typically be body dysmorphia tendencies, but everyone thinks they're fine as fuck.
As
You
you
know?
should, though. But
But
I think
I think they should be that way.
as you should. I don't know. I
But
went
you
through
can't
a
but you
period.
can't say it's like me, right? Going to buy a brand new Mercedes. The Mercedes is fine, but then me
Mhm.
being like, but I need a wider ass though. You know what I mean? Like it you
Okay.
can have whatever point you have on yourself. However, when you tell me I'm fine, but I'm going to get surgery to get this done and this done and this done, that right there negated me thinking that you think you're fine.
True.
No, but I don't know. Those two things can
I,
coexist at the same time
yeah, how about to say the same
because
thing? They can definitely correlate
you can
But which one is
always
true
get
though? Because
better.
if you find why you need to go buy this stuff.
Because I can
because
always
it
get
doesn't.
better.
Wait, yes, you can always get better. Fine doesn't mean that you have reached your peak. Fine
Yeah.
means I look good right now, but I can definitely make that look, you know, look a little bit better. It's just like education. Yeah, I'm smart now, but it's not going to hurt me to go out there and gain more knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
But it
And
could hurt you. You could die.
gaining more knowledge can't hurt you.
No,
No, no,
she
no.
talking about the
I'm talking
surgery.
about the body thing. It can
But
hurt you because you could die on the table
Yeah.
for a tummy tuck, like that young lady did.
but that's
BC
anything in life. That's anything like I walk outside and get hit by a bus. You know what
but
I'm
you're not
saying?
intentionally paying somebody to accidentally kill you.
Tara, we
That's
hear
what
you, but
scares me about the
sometimes
surgeries. It scares
Yeah.
me,
but
young
I
girls.
get you, but sometimes they want to risk it and hop on that table. I mean, it's just adding, it's the flair. I was good, but let me get my glitter.
So
Right.
let me ask you this. I have a
I
question
like
for you
that.
guys.
I
How do
like
you
that, Amron.
let me get my glitter? I've never thought about myself in terms like that. I have not thought I was ugly. I have not thought I was super attractive. You'll never hear Tara Michelle talking like that. Like people say to me all the time, like people tell me I'm beautiful or I'm gorgeous, it makes me cringe. Like I get so uncomfortable. I
Why?
think that's why I have no idea. I exist as Tara Michelle. I don't care either way what anybody else thinks about me. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna throw on my jeans and my t-shirt. If you force me, like the wedding last night, I had to wear a dress. I was like, Lord Jesus, somebody help me. But I'm just me. I don't care to use descriptive words about how I look. I'm gonna get up and when I leave the house, I'm gonna look that way. When I come home, I'm gonna look that way.
Tara Michelle,
Other
not
than filming in,
is blessed to feel the way that you feel, because some people actually have people telling them they're not small enough, they're not beautiful enough. And you know, let's not act like things like what is it, women who maybe a darker shade than you or maybe lighter than you, they don't go through these things where people are telling them, because you're not the color of a paper bag, you're not beautiful. And
yeah,
even though you could be a 10, like what's her name, Peta knew something, she
Lupita Nyong'o.
yes, she spoke about how she was bullied, and I look at this woman, I'm like,
She's gorgeous.
how,
But
where?
see, that's why I do it, Alura. I think I reclused from even focusing on how I look, because all you hear is what everybody else thinks. I could walk into a room and somebody could think I'm a 10, and the person standing next to them could think I'm a 0. So I just don't want to deal with any of it. Not
But
for
no,
myself,
but it's
anybody else.
right. But what is actual reality is how you feel about you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a girlfriend I went to high school with, and I didn't know she was ugly until we were like almost 30. And I mean that
Wait, what?
respectfully. Listen. So I was looking at a picture and I didn't know it was her. And I went like, ooh, like I did like a stare thing. And
That
she
is
was
hilarious.
like, why you do that when you looked at so-and-so? I'm like, do you see that girl? Oh my God, that's so-and-so. And I felt so bad. And then it dawned on me, like, she has a great personality. She's funny. She's encouraging. She's amazing from the inside and out. And when she walked into the room, she literally is one of those, I'm the finest person in here. And she, I mean,
You got
But
me
you gotta
fucked
be
up with that
humble
one.
though. But sometimes you gotta be humble. Like me, I'm not delusional. I'm not gonna be like I'm a 10, you know. But I know I'm not ugly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also not gonna be out here calling somebody ugly. Like someone called me ugly, and I took the high road. And I was like, I'm not about. Why would I do that? Why I'm gonna call them ugly? You know why? Because I might find that person to be ugly, but there's someone else who might think that person is a 10. And quite
exactly.
frankly, I think people should walk out here and have confidence, because guess what? You may not be a 10, you could be a 5. But if you walk into a room with mad confidence and you interact with a male loves confidence off of a woman. They don't like cockiness, but they like confidence. And you have to have some type of confidence in order to be in a healthy relationship. Because if you're in a relationship with someone talking about I'm ugly, I'm a 3.
Oh, I can't do it.
I want that. So it's
fact that I
important
don't
to be
care either way.
confident.
I don't care either way. I don't, and my confidence is what it is because of the person I am. I don't ever walk into a room and think I'm gonna pull anything or anybody because of my face. It's I'm intelligent, I'm cool, I'm honest, I'm loyal. That's what I walk into the room with confidence in.
Okay.
I don't care about the
But
rest.
people don't see none of that you just talked about. You know what I mean?
I
They
see
don't.
it.
They don't.
That's why my
Yeah,
confidence exudes because I see it.
right.
Yeah.
So I get it, because we have to feel a certain way about ourselves because we know what we bring to the table.
Right.
However, what we bring to the table is invisible to everybody else but this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And sometimes this would mean whether you're gonna go get that job or not. In a lot of instances.
I mean, you still got to take care of yourself. You got to calm your head. You got to brush your teeth. You got to do that. But it's
Right.
like what Amron just said. Amron had no idea her friend was ugly for 30
I don't
years.
know how that's possible.
She was a great person. She still is. She's a great person.
Oh, so you
My
saw her as the
personality-
person, not the look.
Exactly.
I really did. Like meeting her. She's one of those personalities that just like she exudes everything. Like when you around her, you feel good. And then I just looked at the picture and it was like, oh my God, that's my friend.
Like, bitch, I just found out.
Yeah, I just found out.
How long were y'all friends? I have so many questions. How long were y'all friends?
At least like 15, 16 years.
This woman has
That's
an
because-
extraordinary personality. She has an
That's
extraordinary.
because her inner beauty outshined everything else, and you had no choice but to see her as this beautiful person.
That's what's
Exactly.
happening.
And that's so crazy because I have a friend and she's gorgeous to the eye. She would be in Jet magazine as the most beautiful person in the world, but she can't keep a man. And when she does get one, they run off because her personality is so nasty. Matter of fact, we're not even friends right now because she blocked me because I spoke some honesty. But she thinks that her looks is going to pay the way for everything, and it's just like the men of today were not the men of yesterday. The men of today know their worth. They don't have to be with you. They can go get someone else, and they're going to do the same things as you, probably more than you. And that's just the world that we live in, where men, they're not Google Gagaing over women who are society says they're 10s anymore, because they want some substance.
Right.
Men want someone they can come home and lay on their shoulders at night and tell them, hey, listen, I went through this and this and this and that. They ain't waiting for her to say, oh, all right, that shit cool and all, but give me some money. You know what I'm saying? Men need love too. They want to be emotional.
I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna take another break. Lil Wayne said it best. Once I come to my senses. So take that with what you want to take it with. Because once I bust that nut, I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing here? Why am I with this person? You gotta have something more than just sex or sex appeal, because that nut will make everything clear. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take another break real quick. So we're back. We're back with Whatever by Hektek. I have the lovely ladies on here, spitting that real shit today. I'm glad no one's holding back. I thought some people were going to be like, but I'm glad y'all are really talking y'all shit. I like that.
Okay, so before I let you skate with that, who on this panel did you think was going to be in it?
You're not gonna trap me. The fuck? That is not happening. I've lived a long life for a reason.
He knows.
Yeah. Okay. So she tried it. She did try it though. So my next question, I'm gonna just fire off a couple questions because they're like not meat and potato ones. These ones are light, fluffy, fun ones, not like the deep ones we talked about earlier.
Deep. I like it deep.
Ooh. Yeah.
I bet you be nasty.
Well, that is one of my crazy enough, that is one of my questions. Why don't women like their pussy spat on?
Like
who said it?
Well, not like from the gut, but like, if it gets a little watery.
I'll just say this first, because I think they might have something different to say. I don't like it because the entire thought of spitting on someone, period, is disrespectful to me. I can't change it from a white man spitting in my face to my dude spitting on my. No, thank you. That's just for me. No, thank you.
How would you know though? Like you're in ecstasy, you won't even know it happened unless he's like, Patuah!
I feel
like when you do that, it's because it's dry, baby. And I don't have them type of problem. So what you spitting on it for?
That
exactly. Thank you. Next question. No,
but Hektek, I will say this: everybody don't brush their teeth like they supposed to. Sometimes
so
if you have
getting gingivitis of the pussy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Why are we doing it? We shouldn't be having sex if it's like that. I need you to go handle that first and then come back to the bed.
Well, I guess I'm the motherfucking nasty one on here, because bitch, I want you to spit in my mouth, first of all. And I don't mind if you spit on the cat. It's all right. It doesn't need it, but if you choose to do so, okay, bitch, all right. It is what it is.
See, I have this problem called wet mouth, so I can't help it.
So you know
what I mean?
You drool?
No, I don't drool. I just keep it in my mouth. And if I feel like I need to pour it in someone's mouth or back on the cat, I just do that.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys, when you turned on, you don't produce a lot of saliva? I don't know. I do. Like, I just produce a lot of saliva and I be like, this shit gotta go somewhere. No,
I ain't trying to swallow it all.
Okay, let me shut up. I need counseling.
Hey, you said you were gonna throw these questions out. Okay, you threw that one out. Let's go. Let's
damn. Okay. Why don't women like the word moist?
I love the word moist. I think it's a sexy. I want my cake moist. I know I'm moist. Who has a problem with moist?
I don't want to hear women have to hear that shit is a waterfall. I want to hear moist. Makes me feel like I don't want to hear moist. Fuck that.
So Amron, why you don't like moist?
Yes.
Because there's a difference between like my partner using the word moist, but a lot of times when I get icky with moist is when men say it in unpleasant situations. Like you got
Like
those
what?
moist brownies today. Like the fuck? Get out of my face.
Yes,
I
I got
mean,
those moist brownies today and every day, but you can't have none.
I don't want to talk
Next.
to you like that, sir. I just
Oh, so would you rather him say wet brownies?
sir, do you want the brownies? Yes or no? That's just simple as that.
And somebody coming to me talking about I want to touch that wet brownie, bitch. You better stop talking to me right here, right now. Bye.
I mean,
That's
maybe this time he's making sure last time he got some brownies, they were dry. He making sure they got a little, moisture to them.
moist. That's what I'm talking about. That's a word. People are funny.
Yeah. I
It's
didn't
hilarious.
realize how many women don't like the word moist.
I feel like when men use it, you're trying me. Like we're not actually talking about something using moisture or being moist. Like you try me now, sir. Stop it.
Right, I agree.
All right, so next question. This one might be a little different or a little deeper.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people could demand of you something they can't provide for themselves?
Ooh, that they can't provide for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anybody could demand anything of you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are people who want you to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves. They
Yeah.
demand that when they call and say my car broke down, you pay for whatever it is. Or they demand that I mean, college students are the number one guilty parties in this. But no, I think that people can demand time. I think they can demand energy,
Mm.
attention, all these things that they don't pour back into themselves. And somehow you become responsible for their well being. And it's dangerous because a lot of times we willingly go into it when we feel sorry for those people or we care for those people. And then we look up one day and realize that we got a whole nother dependent that we can't claim on our taxes.
Mm.
I feel that.
Good answer.
I agree with that, but I'm also in the business of teaching. So,
Okay.
sometimes if a person doesn't know how to pour into themselves, what I'm giving them, I'm going to help teach them. I'm always, my kids say I lecture too much. I probably do, but everything is a lesson for me. Like any situation could be a lesson. If I'm going to give you my love, I want you to know why I'm loving you and how to love yourself. I'm going to tell you, these are the things that you need to see in yourself. You can search out for other people to fulfill you, but eventually those people become empty and you're going to have to learn how to fill your own tank. So,
And I
Right.
also find out too, if you're pouring more into someone else and
Yeah.
nothing being poured back into you, you become an empty shell.
Make
true.
sure it's reciprocal. You cannot let somebody drain you because then you have nothing left to give, even to yourself. That is so true.
Facts. Facts.
Amron?
Oh, I agree with all of that. Definitely because at first, Alora, I was like, I don't know about what you're saying, but then you ended it well. Um, Especially being a teacher because I'm getting over this. I'm an extreme people pleaser to a whole nother level. But I slowly found out that it's actually a sign of being kind of manipulative because I'm really only pleasing you to get some shit for my own benefit. But moving past that,
She's like, this ain't the couch today.
moving past that. But the whole point, sometimes like pouring in too much, it gets like that's exhausting. Like I'm glad you're a teacher and you're able to keep pouring and lecturing, but everyone doesn't have that capacity or that bandwidth, and sometimes that can be extremely exhausting.
It definitely, especially
Especially
when
when
you
they don't
pouring in
listen.
and especially when you pouring in and teaching to someone who's not
Paying
receiving it.
attention. Exactly. They are here for what you can do for them. They don't care about what you're talking. They go on one ear and out the other. And the next week they calling you for the same thing. I can't do it.
So I've had women come and tell me, hey, or ask me, hey, how can I get into the industry? And I give them simple task: create a Gmail, create a Twitter, and find out a model name. Right, those three steps. You would think that would take you all of 15, maybe an hour, right? Because the name you might juggle some stuff around. There's a small percentage of people that actually could finish that in its entirety. Most people stop at one thing or they don't even do any of it. But then the same people come back and spin the block like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, nah, you didn't do the first thing that I asked you to do. What? Oh, you want me to do everything for you? Is what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Nah, that's not happening. But
That's ludicrous.
the main reason I asked that question was I had a young lady. Um, she said that the dude she dates needs to make $10,000 a month.
Okay.
How much does she make?
Cool. Not $10,000, not even $4,000. I don't think. And so then I told her, well, what if it's someone like me who I fluctuate sometimes? You know, I could be at $4,000, I could be at 10 grand. Is that? And she was like, nah, it has to be 10 grand a month. And I was just like, but you're not providing any of that for yourself, but you're demanding this of someone else to provide in order to court you, which is the weirdest concept that to me, anyways. Because once again, this is where men and women are different. Men don't necessarily go after women for what they could provide for them financially.
Mm-hmm.
So for me I'd be like, oh, cool. She looks good. She has good conversation. She got a good head on her shoulder. Cool. We talk. Versus this girl's like, no, 10 grand. You got to drive a Lambo. You got to do this. You got to do that. But yet you sleeping on the floor.
I don't
And
know because
I
they're
don't understand that.
tell people about that. She need to go watch a Kevin Samuels video or two. And not that I'm promoting Kevin Samuels, but this is the problem that he was talking about on some of the things I did agree with. You cannot demand high top tier stuff when you are bottom tier yourself. What are you bringing to the table? And I really don't even like that question a lot. I mean, usually I don't like that question, but in this situation, I have to ask. If you're talking about this car and this specific, why that specific amount when you can't offer anywhere near that? Like, you have to explain that to me. What about you sleeping on this floor commands a man of that caliber?
100%.
Yeah, I don't get that neither. For me, I don't know. I don't look at men for money. I mean, I will look at your shoes, just to make sure, just to make sure.
That's what I
'Cause
do to bums. When they holding up the signs, I look at their shoes and be like,
And if you got some brand new
right, for
yeah.
me, I don't get women like that. I think those women were raised by Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Because that is a big delusion to really think you're going to be making nothing really compared to this person, and you should come in and potentially be their burden, because when you really think about it, women who go after men like that, they want to get married, they want to have kids, and then usually they leave that man and they're asking for half. It's like you can't even figure out how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can't even manage your way out of a paper bag. Why do you think you should be coming in and trying to? I don't know. This is I'm with Tera. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm confused. It baffles me. I don't have your answer. I don't have an answer for this.
I find it interesting. So cultural, okay. I just view other cultures like different. If I was a young Nigerian woman saying that I was going to marry this poor man that didn't have at least X, Y, and Z, my family would be like, get the fuck out of here. If
Right.
I was an Indian woman growing up like this, you need to have X, Y, and Z before you can even look at her. So
Right.
why is her saying, this young lady saying this man needs to have at least 10,000 a month for me to obtain this lifestyle that I feel like I should obtain? What's the difference? Do I
So
agree with it? No.
In Nigerian money, that's $10,000, probably like $500 in US money.
Not
So
even
it's a
that.
little
They do
different.
cows. They do cows and land and all of that
But
stuff.
I'm
But
just
here's
saying,
the
even if
reason
it's
why. Here's the reason why. Because that woman is going to actually be a wife and a mother. The house is going to be taken care of. His food is going to be done. The sex is going to be there. She's going to rear those children. These women here aren't doing any of that. You got to have that 10,000 a month plus a nanny plus a chef because she ain't raising her kids now. She'll pop them out for you, but she's not going to take care of them. That's
not
the
on $120,000 a year. She's not doing that. She doesn't have a staff. They might
Tera,
be
No.
earning.
I thought you was changing your name to Dr. Tera Michelle today.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know. When I moved to Alabama, um, it was weird. The deeper South was weird. A lot of people get married younger. And a lot of my
Mhm.
friends were telling me they were taught how to marry. You marry well. You don't marry that
You
broke
marry
dude
up.
down there.
Right.
You marry somebody that's doing better. So for that young lady that's sleeping on the floor, why not $10,000 a month? Ain't that better? Ain't that helping her up?
So
what is she gonna provide him? We are talking about people who have a system that is set up that works. You know, American women are not like that. The individualistic, they want what they want and they want to do as little as possible. The majority. I'm not speaking to
But I'm
anyone.
just saying, but this young lady, I'm hoping if she gets this, she might be doing what she got to do to keep it.
no, she still
Hopefully.
got. Listen, I've known her for over a year. She still don't have a bed.
What? Like she got a
Didn't
mattress?
I just post about that? I swear to goodness, I made a reel about something like this. I
No,
said
she literally has no bed.
So she's not
and
even doing it for herself and want somebody to come
Right.
and take her off her feet. This is not Pretty Woman. This is real life. We got to stop.
right.
And also, Amron, with the Indians and the Nigerians and all them other cultures, both families have to be able to provide something. Don't think the woman's going and marrying up and
I'm
the
just
family
saying.
that she's coming from is not providing something. Remember, there used to be a word called diary or dowry.
Yeah,
Dowry.
So the father that she comes from had to provide something to the family she was going to in order for them to accept her into their family before marriage was even talked about. What are you giving me? How many sheep? How many goats? And depending on how your negotiation skills went, so women back then, even still to this day, not as much, was a bargaining chip on an investment for me to grow my wealth.
Right, but it's the other way too. Like you would have to pay a dowry for the bride. You got to pay something for the coochie. The coochie produced these heirs.
It was always the family of the bride that provided the dowry, not the other way around.
I don't know about that, Hektek.
We could search it. I'm telling you.
We could Google that one. We could
search it. But yes, so you had to provide something. Because what is a wealthy family providing to a poor family? Why am I giving you anything? You need me more than I need you.
You're getting
the wealthy family had something to offer, and normally the person who didn't have a lot of wealth, their daughter usually had beauty. She had skills. It was something. So it was to make sure that the poor family could survive. Usually back in the day when a family had a lot more power and was another family who may have been going through financial burden, they would marry off their daughter, either their firstborn daughter or the most beautiful daughter, to join the families, and so that the families can become one. And
so
the family
she can create the heirs. She can create heirs, and they have their family lineage. And
the
meanwhile,
coochie got power, Hektek.
But you got to remember,
you got to remember it don't equate two goats and two cows. Like
no, but it produces heirs.
But you got to remember, those people, they procreated because they believed in kind of like how Donald Trump.
It was a business.
And genetics. It's like breeding horses. If you wanted the best outcome as far as gene pool, so it was definitely always certain cultures, not all, but Nigerians is usually one family has more than the other, or there just is never no one on the same level. Someone is going
to this comparison is on the same level. We are not going to sit up here and disrespect Nigerians with American. We're not doing this. That is not what is happening.
All I'm saying is marrying up is a thing that everybody be doing.
Married up is like, okay, you make $2,000. I might make $5,000. Cool. Yeah. That's marrying up. That's good.
You sleeping on the floor and jumping straight into 10 grand is a bit much, man.
I'm just saying. Dream big. That's dreaming big.
You're right. Keep dreaming on that floor. This is too much.
But this is common. I've known women, even for me, right? I'm put together, right? Got my own car, own place, woo-de-woo. And a woman would tell me, I need to take her out. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. Just for conversation piece. But then I'm like, but I saw the last dude, the last homosexual you just kicked out. This dude don't have shit. and you do, and they have these long rants of how they did all this stuff for him, and he cheated with their mom and their sister and all this other stuff. But yet, I gotta show you what I'm worth versus.
Well, she's not trying to make that mistake again. So she's trying to start over fresh with you. And you're going to be her first fresh new start.
Nah, you ain't coming up off of my knob.
I mean, but Hector, let me ask you this question though. If she made that mistake from the first guy, so she wants to make sure she doesn't make this again. And even though you may feel like you're being penalized, wouldn't you be more offended if she keeps dating the same type of dude? That shows she has no growth, no elevation. At least she learned from that lesson.
I didn't want to say this is after her 5th baby daddy and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Like
you should probably check who you're taking dates, because maybe
I'm good. I'm just saying, I'm using this as an example though, because this is stuff that I've seen. I've seen where someone, or I hear, this is a big one that I hear. I don't want to date no man with more than 1 kid or no kids at all, but yet you got 7 of them.
Let me explain that. So at my age, I would not date someone that doesn't have a child if they openly say they want to have a child, because I don't want to be pregnant again. That would be unfair of me.
I get that.
But like,
no, they don't want a man with a child because they don't want the burden, not because they don't want to have another baby. That's not the reason.
I'm just saying, I got a rule. Like, if you ain't got no kids, I can't mess with you. Like, none at all.
And I got to make sure you don't want no more. If you got one, I'm side-eyeing you. Like, are you sure you don't want another? I'm not giving you no more kids. I'm not doing it.
I'm out.
Well, for me, it's I don't want to, even though I have 7, I do have 7 kids. If I was to ever divorce and date again, I would be leery of dating someone else who has close to as many kids as I do, because
that's a squad.
Yeah, and because I'm going to want to be a part of those children's lives, and be if he has kids, if we marry, those are my kids too, and I want to be able to make sure I'm able to provide them with the same love and attention that I give my kids and financial blessings that I give my kids. I think it would be unfair to be like, well, these are my kids in my household. I make sure they good and your kids get the scraps. So that's what I would be looking at.
Yeah, like me, I have a limit.
What about baby mamas though? Because like when I was younger, that was my thing. Oh, if you got a kid, I can't do it because your baby, I don't want to have to bust your baby mama upside her head every time it's time to go pick up that baby, or she come over here being disrespectful. So you got to figure out why they're saying that. If they're saying,
if you bust her in her head one good time, she shouldn't be an issue.
Listen,
she might be ready to fight.
Tera be ready. Tera be ready. No, like me.
Let me tell you something. I had to fight somebody, mama, his sisters, and his baby mama. Baby, I got time. I do not play with people like that. Now, I did then. I'm grown now, and I'm I'd like to think that, whatever. But if you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. But at the same time, I think you need to ask her. Ask her why. Why is it that you're saying that you don't want someone with kids when you do have it? If she has 4 kids already, and she just doesn't want to deal with baby mama drama, and she will give him some kids, okay.
I can see the multiplying issue, right? For me, right? I don't want anyone more kids than I currently have.
How many kids you got?
10.
Stop playing.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you.
How could we not know you had 10 children? Like you're a terrible father.
Boy, I'm still trying to recover, even though he said he was playing. Lord Jesus.
Let me. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, right? Because it's not really a big secret, but everyone knows that all my children are by my husband. And when we first started dating, my husband was like, "Listen, I'll take care of you, but you make sure your kids is taken care of, because I'm not really comfortable with financially taking care of kids that aren't mine." And I said, you know what? Okay, I can respect that, because they're not your biological kids, and their fathers were very active in their lives, so I didn't really need him to financially take care of my children.
Time out. I'm sorry. I have a question. So I just want to make sure it was never a situation like he brought in a ham sandwich, like one, and the children ain't have a ham sandwich.
He split the sandwich.
Never that.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
He was talking about as far as support, like going to buy them clothes and all of that stuff, because he's like,
Okay.
we were, even though we were best friends before we started dating, he didn't have kids, and I had 4 kids already. So he's just like, he's new to this. So I had to respect that. I couldn't be like, oh, dude, you're going to take care of my kids and this and this and that. So I knew the type of man he was, first of all. I said, he already loved my kids. He already does for them. Even though he was putting these boundaries up, he would take my kids shopping. Didn't have to ask them. His family had already accepted my kids. My kids were already going over there, spending the night with his dad, his mom, and them. And eventually it came to a point where I never had to ask for nothing. It was just, oh, these are for the kids. Oh, this and this and that. And I remember it was one time I was having issues with my kid's dad. And he says, you don't have to go through him. I got this. And I said, that's the moment where when I move back and I allow him to step into his role in our lives as he felt he needed to, like pace. I let him pace himself. And sometimes I think men need to be able to pace themselves to make sure they're fully ready for a situation. Because if you just throw him in there and he's not fully ready, that's when they walk out and then you're left heartbroken and you don't know what to do. So that's what I tried to do. And listen, if you ever use the word step kids, and with those kids and he'll have a whole he ain't having it in his family. When I tell you, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, them are their grandkids, and they show up in every way. And my sister-in-law too.
I love that you went through that, because I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. Being a mother of 4, if we are in the dating stages and that's what you say to me, I need to make sure I'm gonna take care of you, but you gotta take care of your kids. It's the delivery to me. We'd have been done at that point. Because even though I wouldn't need you to take care of them, I think I would want to know that you would be willing to. So I don't think we would have been able to grow to that point for him to grow into. I think that would have just been a huge turn off for me.
So what would you have rather him say?
I would rather him come in and say, so what's the situation with their dad? Like, ask me questions about their dynamic and let me tell you that they're taken care of. I just think I would have just taken it in an abrasive manner if you came to me and said, well, I'm gonna take care of you, but you make sure you take care of your kids. My kids.
I'm sure that's not how he said it though, but
it's not how he said it. We sat down. I'm paraphrasing. We sat down and we had a whole conversation. Yeah. See, he knew how their dads, because they're not their dads were. Their dad stepped up. When my daughter's father would have her birthday party at my house, because my daughter's father, his family meeting, would come to my house. My husband be sitting there. They'll have a whole conversation. Her father showed up in every way. Her grandmother showed up in every way. So he knew that they had support. And he was like, I think we should talk about this, because I really want to be with you. I love you, but this is what I'm feeling. This is what scares me. So I have to be open to hear him. And
that's different.
That makes me.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't feel like I had to go through all of that, because even if he didn't even say it in that way, he still came to me. He said he was honest. That was his truth. And I chose to hear his truth and respect his truth. But you can tell a person whether they're going to be able to love your children or not. A person who stays in something and then that person turns out to be a horrible stepfather, they already knew that person wasn't capable, but I knew that he was capable.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, and I think that's you bring up another good point too, Alura. I think it's very important for women to actually truly hear what a man's saying versus what's the not really hearing what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like there's what's the saying? You're listening to respond
like
instead of
listening.
Yeah, listening. Yeah, listen to respond instead of to understand.
Because I think us men, we don't, a lot of times it is what it is. We're going to say what we want, how we want it. I think sometimes the communication part does get confusing or misconstrued or turned around or whatever the case may be. So I do think it's important, like me. If a woman was to try to date me, I'm telling her everything up front. You see what I'm saying? Hey, this is what I do. This is where I'm at in life. This is da-da-da. If you can't handle this, cool. But I'm not changing for you. You see what I'm saying? I have to want to change it for me.
I want to date you. I want to be in a relationship with you, but I fuck other people for a living. I just am not that type of girl. I will go ahead and be honest. I could never.
So what's the difference? What's the difference in me fucking someone,
but and then doing it behind your back?
I don't want
Exactly.
either. That's not my only choices in earth.
It's not, but that's you though. But there are people who could
That's
see
what
me.
I said. I'm not this not up for a debate. I'm saying me.
Yeah.
I actually kind of sort of admire a woman who can deal with that, because you deserve love too in your personal life, and you deserve to have your successful career. I could never. Is all I'm saying. Just
no, and I get that, and I respect that, because everyone, just like me, everyone can't date a garbage man. Everyone can't date an attorney. Everyone can't date a. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that it's definitely dependent on a person's personality and who they are, because Hektek would need, well, not, let me say, because y'all know I'm an open book. Me, I could date somebody who was a porn star. It's not going to bother me one bit, for the simple fact of, I hope that he bring that same energy home. But at the same time,
I do bring enough dick back home.
It's just, I don't know, like my outlook on life, because y'all know I've only been in love one time. I don't have the same emotions as everyone else. So for me, certain things wouldn't affect me. Certain things wouldn't make me feel some type of way. Plus, I'm big freaky, so I'm like, shit, nigga, I want to see that shit too. Now, would I choose to marry a porn star? No, for this, because I have children. Now, if I did not have children,
what would be the difference?
For me, it would be a difference, because I would have to have that conversation with my children, and you have to
and tell them that he does porn. What if they're under the age of 18?
But my kids are older though, and I do have children.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, what if they're
under the age of 18? I would not have that conversation with them. But because my sons are older and they probably be watching crazy stuff, how would I feel? I mean, how would they feel if they was on the site and they seen their stepdad? And that's like,
sons are a little different.
And I didn't tell them that. They might be embarrassed. That's something you have to.
If he has bad performance, yeah, they'd be embarrassed.
I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. Now, I'm making light of it because, but I get it, and that's the thing about me, is that's why I am upfront and honest at jump. So I don't want, because if I feel like this, right? If I started dating, say you, Tera, right? If I started dating you and I never told you, you knew I had this job, you knew I did photography, you knew, and I never told you. 6 months down the road, after feelings and stuff is not involved, and then I'd be like, hey.
Oh, yeah, you're lying.
100%.
Yeah, and technically, you've been cheating on me this whole time, because you've been sleeping with other women and didn't tell me. So
100%. So it's best to just be honest, or your feelings are now so, and because women's feelings and men's feelings, especially when it comes to time, is different. So now you invested. Now you're like, yo.
I'm mad now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amron, could you date a porn star?
No. I'm a very selfish person when it comes to my partner. I don't like to share at all. I don't even think I would even be cool enough with a threesome, because if she getting off too much, I'm feeling some type of way. Yeah. So no, I don't want to do it.
I agree 100%.
So Tera, no threesomes?
It can't be with someone you in love with. You can't have a threesome. You can't have a threesome with someone you're in love with.
That's what I don't think so either.
I never understood that logic. So you want to reward the person you don't really give a fuck about versus the person that you love?
Because it's like this. I'm supposed to get the person I love to his highest climax. I want to make that person feel some type of way. And if I love you, I can't share you with someone else. That's my hope.
Time out. Wait, Alura, you're contradicting yourself now. Because you just said you was cool with a porn star. So if he's out there getting his peak every single day at 10 a.m., every day on film.
He's an early riser, huh?
No, wait, hold on. I ain't never said I was gonna be in love with porn star. I just told you niggas I've been in love one time. I may be in a relationship with that nigga, but it don't mean that I'm in love with him. I have been in relationships, long-term relationships, and weren't in love with the people I was in love with, and they fully knew this. I've been engaged 3 times. That's just me. But if like I said, the person I'm in love with my husband. I couldn't do that with my husband. But I would I throw that ass in a circle with someone else with a nigga I don't give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying?
I can't
Y'all
share.
are
I don't think I'm
rewarding bad behavior.
someone
That's
else.
what's happening. Y'all rewarding bad behavior.
Here's the
Y'all
thing, you
need
got
to
too much
reward the
time for
lover.
somebody to fall for somebody else. You yelling her, kicking or whatever, and then she do something a little better than you. I just think there's too much complications in that. Now I'll watch a threesome. I'm a voyeur. I will watch, but I don't need to participate. And my man can't participate either. Actually, my man would never watch. So that's another thing. But yeah, no. I
think it's sexy to have him watch. I don't know. Only on TV though.
Watch you with somebody else?
No, on TV. I wish, girl. I wish.
Maybe he can talk some shit. No, I'm not.
No, I mean, listen. I wish.
I never had one. I've never wanted to, but yeah.
I had one with my best friend and her man, and it wasn't deliberately.
Wait, what?
It wasn't deliberately. So I was kind of tricked. So she was like, you know what I'm saying? You want to try girl and girl? And I was like, yeah, I never did that.
Oh,
so
and he slid in.
Yes, but the thing was, I didn't know he was there because when she said that it was just gonna be me and her. It was me and her in the house. And the next thing I know, he was behind me, and I was like so uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. So
man,
I was like,
are cracking me up.
So I was like, all right. I was like,
you just got that push. That's what you did.
Let me just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? But I decided I wasn't gonna do threesomes anymore because after we was done, he would start to hit me up, and I was like, yeah, no.
See, that's what
makes me so uncomfortable.
And that's why I said I would never do that with someone I was in love with. And I never responded. And I didn't even tell her because I didn't want to hurt her. And I just decided like this was a one and done. Well, no, twice and done. It was twice and done. And I was like, I'm cool.
No.
Hey, I had to go back because you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never experienced certain type of climaxes, then you would understand why I went back.
Oh Lord, baby, I just can't keep up with you from 1 minute to the next.
Listen, I'm truthful. My husband knew about it. I told him about it. He knew about it because he was my best friend.
So let me ask you. So you had to spin the block just to make sure that the first thing that happened was okay. That really was that good. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah. And then I spent the block and he started hitting me up. So I was like, nope, gotta leave. Can't mess with this.
You give a man too much taste and y'all go together. I hate to tell you that.
Yeah, no.
That is funny. No, threesomes are not for me. I'm too selfish. I'm too territorial.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
It's a Sagittarius in me. I can't help it.
I could definitely see that. Damn, that's some pressure. All right. So with that being said, and these crazy stories, I love the fact that y'all ladies are open and honest with everything that we talked about today. It was a blast for me. I hope y'all had fun. Go ahead, Tara. Go ahead and tell people where they can find you at and all that.
Well, in the future, you will be able to find me on Opulence Radio as well. Currently, I am on YouTube as Opinionated Sense. I'm on Instagram as Opinionated_Sense, and I am guest starring on everybody's podcast at this point. It's easy to find me.
Alura.
Hey guys, it's your girl, Miss Alura D, also known as Alura D Nasty. Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
I'm glad you said it. That's funny.
No, but you guys can find me over at the Lauren Hour Network and check out my podcast at the Lauren Hour Podcast. Also, check me out over on YouTube at A Leo's Journey. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe button. So appreciate it.
All right, Amron, go ahead, talk your shit.
Definitely find me on Instagram at Opulence Radio 01. And also, I'm a co-host on another show, According to This Black Girl. Catch us on all streaming platforms. We're coming back for our 4th season in about a month or so. So catch us there.
All right, and I followed you on Twitter. You ain't follow me back. I feel some type of way. But
Twitter is just for porn. It gets confusing. I don't be on it like that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's the only reason why I be on Twitter.
Letting that, See, y'all letting that sweet little voice fool y'all. This is the biggest freak right here. Trust me. A fellow freak understands and recognizes another freak. She is a freak elite. Trust it.
Anyways,
know how
I
to feel about
followed
that
you. I
anymore.
was like, I'm supporting. I was like, oh, you can follow me back. You don't have to follow. You could. So this is the thing. You could
I'm gonna do
follow
it
me
today.
and then
I'm gonna do
mute
it right
me.
now.
You can
No,
mute
I'm gonna
me
do it
though.
right now.
So a lot of stuff
That's
don't pop up on
exactly
your
what I
feed.
did on Facebook because I was terrified. As soon as I accepted the friend request, I was like, how do you make sure like my kids ain't walking behind me and I see something real crazy?
Well, first of all, I can't do what I do on Twitter on Facebook. I want to
Okay.
have a page. So my
No.
What's your
Facebook,
Twitter?
the same name I have now.
I'm gonna follow you.
So yeah, I can't do everything I do on Twitter on Facebook. Trust me, I'm very tame on Facebook. All
Okay.
right. So this is Whatever by Hektek. Most people gonna ask me why did I come up with Whatever by Hektek? Because I was
You
like,
talk
I
about
want to
whatever.
talk about whatever.
Exactly.
I wanna be in the box. So it
I
just
like it.
fits me. You gonna catch us on Opulence Radio. We're gonna make that shit pop. We're gonna make it what it's supposed to be. And I can't wait. I'm super excited and I love the idea. That's why I decided to come on and do my own thing. I love it. You can also find me on Twitter, Hectic Desires. Everything's Hectic Desires pretty much, or IG official Hectic Desires. That's my IG.
I have a real quick question, Hectic. You just said that you don't want to be in the box. Are you sure?
What box am I in?
Ooh.
I got
It's
time.
so, it's so easy. It's so easy with you. It's fantastic.
I
It
got
just sounds
time.
weird for us to know what you do and you be talking about you don't want to be in a box. Please. You want to be
Even what I do, it's not. I'm not one dimensional. So if I did porn and I was just talent, that's me being in a box. But I'm talent, photography, videography,
you going too
businessman.
far. You going too far back. That was all innuendo. We do not care about the other jobs you had over there. We talking about the box. That's it. Okay.
You, okay,
I
Tara.
love it.
I got you. You making my cheeks go. Okay, I got you.
I like her.
Yeah, that's why. You know what? And it's crazy because when I personally reached out to each one of you, and then it all started to come together. I knew this was going to be a phenomenal show, and I knew I'll be able to ask the questions that I wanted to ask without people doing depending on the guest I have to tailor it a certain way. But yeah, y'all gave me what I needed, and I'm very appreciative. So yeah, with that, we're gonna go ahead and sign off.